up, YouTube world? I'm the Jester here on Jester's Vlogs. See the playlist we're doing here? We got a Jester the Master. We're taking down some stupid issues, and Master stepped out for now, but it's cool because I've got the prisoner. You may have seen we had Prisoner 2. We did an off-camera interview with him. He didn't even want to be on camera at all. The prisoner is cool as long as we keep his identity secret, so he's the prisoner. And if you really want to know more about him, then go away and die.
Yeah.
So, what happened, man? Why'd you get locked up? Tell us a little bit about that, man.
Yeah, man. I got picked up on a warrant. It's the month of July right now, obviously. Last December, I was all, fucked up on heroin. I was on the streets, running around for a while, and I was contracted to pass a fake payroll check at an AMSCOT. And I went in, obviously, there was a problem with the check, so I ended up getting arrested. They didn't arrest me right then, because I just kept saying, I want to talk to a lawyer, and they had to let me go. But about...
So you fully admit you did something illegal and are willing to own up to those consequences?
Absolutely, yeah. I shouldn't have done it. I knew it was wrong, but... when you're in that state of mind, you're desperate for cash, you're sick.
Yeah, I mean, everybody fucks up. And I mean, the fact that you were trying to steal is true. And I mean, yeah, there should be some kind of law to prevent that. But so what did they do to you? What was the repercussions for you doing this wrongdoing?
Basically what happened was they put the warrant out. I got picked up on the warrant, and I spent the past 3 weeks in Orange County Jail. I went to court yesterday. And I had to take probation. They were trying to, give me, time, more time in county. I took the probation because I could get adjudication withheld. My first felonies, and that was important to me. Not being a convicted felon.
So in other words, they kind of were telling you couldn't get out of jail unless you would plead guilty.
Yes, plead guilty, but adjudication withheld. So right now I'm not a convicted felon. If I violate for anything, I will be a convicted felon. Also,
right, but you can't, like, probation, you can't leave the state. Like, let's say your friend...
I can't leave the county.
Well, you can't leave the
No,
county?
I can't, not without permission. I just read that today in my probation papers. I cannot leave Orange County. If I do, I violate, and I'll go probably to fucking prison.
For how long?
I don't know. My probation period is 2 years, so technically they could give me 2 years of DOC time. So, another thing, too, was they wouldn't let me leave unless I did a DNA swab, so my DNA is now... on file with
so they forcibly removed your DNA from you without your consent?
Not forcibly. They made me sign a voluntary consent.
That's force, man. Just because you sign a voluntary.
They were acting like I was about to get bonded out, and they said I wouldn't be able to leave
unless you gave them DNA.
Yeah, they would have put a whole...
Let me know, is that anywhere in Florida law, anywhere that you have to give DNA to get out of jail?
I don't know. I'd never heard of that before.
Comments down below. Let me know about that, man.
Yeah, it is crazy, man, but... The jail, man, I mean, jail really doesn't bother me, you don't mess with nobody messes with you and shit. What does bother me in jail is, how you're treated, obviously.
So wait a minute, you're telling me that it's not a butt rape fest and everybody's not trying to rape you, and it's the guards that are the problem?
Absolutely.
No way. You mean all of them aren't crazy criminal rapists trying to fuck everything that moves? It's not a bunch of evil black people?
Don't get me wrong, there are some cool...
And skinhead Nazis?
There are some cool correctional officers, but the majority of them treat you like you are a child rapist. It's horrible. In fact, one guy just recently died in jail. He was bit by a canine, somehow ended up in a retention pond, got an infection. He was saying, I'm in pain. The COs kept telling him to shut up, you're not in pain. They put him in a restraint chair, and he died that day.
From a dog bite?
From an infection from the water, going...
Either way, dog bites can give you blood poisoning just alone. I'm an EMT.
Yeah.
Like, the first thing that I would do when I showed up on dog bite scenes, the very first thing you do is antiseptic, and you immediately get to the hospital.
They did.
Because
they didn't take him to the hospital.
You have to. Like, the dog bites you need serious antibiotics, and you need to clean that wound.
Absolutely.
Dogs have, they have a cleaner mouth than us because the bacteria in their mouth eats shit. When you get bit by one, that's not good to be introduced into your bloodstream. Remember that, kids. You get bit by a dog, go to the hospital. And if you're a kid and you're watching this, your parents probably should not let you.
Yeah, for sure,
but,
man.
So, what did you take from it? Do you think that our system is good? How would you improve it? I mean, do you think it's fair on any level?
I think the worst part about the jail is is the lack of food that they give you. And I mean, it is literally, I mean, no exaggeration, you know, exaggeration aside, it is so bad. Most of the fights in there are about food. Everybody loses weight. I probably lost 10 pounds in there. The food is all, you know, starches. So you eat, and an hour later you're freaking starving. Now, I don't mean just hungry. Like, you are so
Yeah.
hungry, you cannot sleep. Like, it's physical pain, and it's borderline torture. It really is pathetic. If you don't get commissary,
Oh,
or
what
if you're
about
not a
the
trustee
temperature?
in work,
We
it's,
didn't even get into the temperature, keeping it cold.
oh yeah, they
Speak
freeze
up,
they
prisoner
freeze
two.
your
You're
ass
welcome
off
to,
in
if
there.
you want to speak up and
I'm
voice
freaking
on this, you're
shivering the
welcome
whole
to.
time in there, man. Freaking, it's terrible, yo. It really is.
What temperature do you think it is in there?
In the 60s, for real, yeah.
And you're
it's-
naked.
Your tax
You're
dollars
naked.
at work.
You're naked. You have a jumpsuit on, but underneath that jumpsuit, you don't have boxers. You don't have socks. You're pretty much naked.
Yeah,
And and they give you a sheet.
yeah. Thin ass blanket, man. And the mats too. The mats are like that thick, so you're basically
No
Show the
pillows.
camera.
No pillows.
literally about, you know, that thick. I mean, there's a little bit of air, but when you lay on it, it squishes down to about like that. And especially me, I was withdrawn off of my medicine because of course they taper me off my medicine because it's, you know, it's specialized medicine, which they charge $24 a day for, by the way. So I go to jail, you know, probably close to $1,000 for my medicine. But and also they didn't dose me for 6 days, so they put my life in jeopardy. And the reason they started doing, Orange County is the only jail that does methadone treatment, and that's because they killed a girl a few years
Oh,
ago.
we should talk about the guy who died in jail last
She
week.
died.
What got bit by the dog?
Yeah,
We
just
talked about that.
Yeah, yeah.
And we'll talk about some more here on Jester Vlogs. Take a break. We'll see you in a bit.